Finding the perfect niche that sells like hotcake. In internet marketing and blogging parlance, a niche is essentially a subject matter. This is the topic that you will be writing about and in turn, the industry that you will be promoting. In the vast majority of cases, affiliate marketing will involve creating a blog with regular updates of some form or other. This means you're going to need to write about this topic, and find a large audience of people who are interested in reading about it. But at the same time, this will also define the type of product you're selling. If you write about fitness, then you'll need to sell fitness-related products. If you write about music, then you'll need to sell something to do with music, etc. Depending on your niche, you may find that products and services tend to gravitate more toward the high end, or the low end. And then there's the fact that your niche will dictate the kind of person who comes to your site, and thus their interest in buying online, their budget etc. Your niche will also dictate how much competition you're going up against, and the type of marketing you have available to you. The list goes on. For all these reasons, the niche you choose is one of the biggest decisions for any affiliate marketing business, and will have the greatest impact on your eventual success or failure. So how do you choose the Goldilocks niche? Some niches are too big. Some are too small. Others are just right. That third category of course is the type of niche that you want to find, and the kind that will help you to get the very best results. An example of a niche that is too big would be something like bodybuilding. Bodybuilding is a gigantic niche that incorporates a huge number of different subcategories. There's the sport of bodybuilding, there's adding muscle, there's just getting into shape. And this niche is pretty much stitched up thanks to the likes of bodybuilding.com, Breaking Muscle, T-Nation, Men's Health, Men's Fitness etc. These sites have gigantic advertising budgets in the millions, and they are competing with countless smaller sites that are all vying for the top spot on Google. If you try to compete with these, then you are going to have a very difficult time ranking for the most popular search terms. And if you pay for PPC, then you'll need to offer up a huge CPC, cost per click. Meanwhile, a niche like bird sewing patterns is just too niche. This is so specific that only a very small number of people are going to visit the site, people who like sewing and people who like birds. Likewise, those people will probably only be interested in your site for so long, while they choose a pattern to sew. So even if you land the very top spot on Google, which should be relatively more simple, you probably won't sell all that many products. And there won't be many products to choose from either, seeing as it's such a slim niche. So, that Goldilocks niche is somewhere in between. For example, instead of writing about bodybuilding, you could write about bodybuilding for students. This is still a big niche, but it's also a lot more specific than bodybuilding generally, and you'll face a lot less competition. There simply aren't that many ebooks out there that are aimed specifically at students who want to get buff, and therefore you will face less competition. If someone is a student and trying to get strong, your book will be one of the few specifically catered to them, and thus will have the edge over a general bodybuilding book. In fact, there is a YouTube channel called Student Aesthetics that has this very premise, and it does very well. Another great example of a real website that has landed on a great niche like this is Nerd Fitness. This is fitness aimed at nerds, and seeing as a lot of stereotypical nerds are out of shape, it's an ideal combination. If you were to look at sewing, then a great option could be easy sewing patterns or extreme sewing. Yes, that's a thing. These are still very niche, but not as niche as our previous example. More considerations when choosing your niche. When choosing your niche, another thing to consider is the value proposition and the emotional hook. That is to say, that the very best niches for an affiliate marketer are the ones that promise something that the reader really wants. Bodybuilding is a great niche in this regard because it promises to help people get into shape. This is something that many of us will have a strong emotional reaction to. We all want to be stronger, fitter and more defined, and we believe that we'll be more attractive, more confident and happier as a result. Buying an ebook on fitness seems like a great first step to becoming hot and sexy, and thus we're very happy to spend $30, $50 or $100. Now compare this to the cat niche. This is a site all about cats and people who love cats. The thing is, no matter how much someone loves cats, a cat jumper isn't going to change their life. That means you can't charge much more than $5 or $10 for it, unless you're selling a cashmere cat jumper to a very wealthy type of customer. This means you need a much higher turnover in order to make the same amount of profit. That in turn means it will take you a lot longer to start making the same kind of income. Something to think about when choosing your niche. Another question to ask is whether a niche is evergreen or a trend. An evergreen niche is one that will always be relevant, and the cat and fitness examples fit this bill. People will always want to be in shape and they will always like cats, meaning your site will never go out of date. On the other hand, a trend would be something like the paleo diet, or maybe One Punch Man. These things are very in vogue right now, but may not always be for a quick in and out way to make money. That can be a tantalizing prospect. Of course, the ideal scenario is that you get involved in a trend or fad just before it gets big. If you can anticipate a trend like this, then you can potentially gain the upper hand before there's much competition and then reap the benefits once millions of people start searching for the topic. For example, if you're willing to play the long game, then you could create a site about the Tokyo Olympics and start blogging right now so that you'll be number one once that starts getting billions of searches. Obviously, another consideration is what kind of products you can find in your given niche. If you find the perfect product that you absolutely love, then in some cases that alone can be enough reason for you to start blogging about that niche. The single most important factor. But you know what the single most important factor is when it comes to choosing a niche? Your involvement with said niche. If you don't know anything about fitness, then you should not create a blog about fitness. If you have no particular interest in knitting, then stay away from that niche. The only caveat to this rule is if you are working with a writer or an advisor who does love the subject. There are countless reasons for this, but the basic thing to keep in mind is that nothing trumps real passion. The best fitness sites are run by people who absolutely love fitness and who know the niche inside out. These people know precisely what competition is out there, they know how to teach a beginner, and they know the advice that even the experts don't know. What's more, is that they can come up with new ideas and really innovate in the space. Compare this with someone who starts a fitness site in a detached manner with no understanding. They write generic articles based on what little information they do have, and they'll make a lot of mistakes and contribute nothing new to the niche. As a result, no one will read their posts. Likewise, they won't be able to identify the really good products that are likely to sell. And what's more, is that there's a very good chance you'll simply become disinterested in the subject after a few months and leave your site to flounder.
Hello, valued subscriber. Turn on the notification bell, so that when we upload a new video it will get to you first. May God bless you as you do so. Thanks. Kindly subscribe, friends, to encourage us. Please don't forget to like our videos, our YouTube channel. Please help us share the video, as much as possible. Assist our growth, please and please. Bravo, bravo, and bravo. May God bless you all.